Hello and welcome to today's live broadcast. It is Monday. Today I'm going to share with you 3 ways that you can use intermittent fasting during a time of crisis or when things feel like they're in crisis mode. So welcome if you're joining us live. My name is Diane. I am the creator of the online course Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman, as well as the creator of this community here on Facebook and YouTube. As always, I ask if you're joining us new, please take a second and hit that subscribe button on YouTube and then hit that little bell notification. That way you will be notified when we go live for our community chat time. And if you're joining us on Facebook, I always ask the same. Please make sure that you hit that like button and you are set up for all notifications to show up in your Facebook feed. So we are going to talk today about how to use intermittent fasting during time of crisis. I'm going, like I said, going to share 3 things with you. And I want to share these 3 tips on the basis of mindset, and I don't want you to think about intermittent fasting in any way that is body weight related or body image related or even health related. I want to just think about how we can use intermittent fasting to really help us alter the way we normally do things and create a healthier or more mindful way of going about our day. And I want to say, excuse the background noise if you guys can hear it. We have our next door neighbors just right next to where I come to you live. They're getting a pool installed and it's been super rainy here in Texas, so they actually have an opportunity to get some work done in their backyard, and they happen to be doing it at this time, so I do apologize if you can hear that noise today. So let's get to it. The first way that we can use intermittent fasting to help us through a crisis or a stressful type of time in our life is to use intermittent fasting as a means to be more mindful of our day and a lot less mindless throughout our day. So oftentimes when we feel stressed or mentally preoccupied, we stop thinking about everyday things, and we can find ourselves in these sort of overeating or binge eating or stressful eating type of episodes, because that's what we tend to fall into when we move about our day mindlessly. And where intermittent fasting can really benefit us in these crisis type situations is that we are going to purposely block out times where we are going to be fasting and purposely block out times where we are going to be feasting, which then brings us back into a mindful way of going about our day around food. So we're checking in with ourselves and really connecting emotionally and mentally about when we catch ourselves in that state of about to eat something just because we feel stressed or nervous, we'll stop ourselves because we've already decided that that is a time that we are going to be fasting. So it does help us become more mindful and not mindless as we're going through our day feeling preoccupied about stress or anxiety or crisis. So it helps us create structure. Our mind is going to be very loud when you're first starting intermittent fasting. That's normal because you're going against your natural way of moving about your day. And that's also a really great thing to pay attention to. Your mind's going to try to stop you and have you go to what is normal for you or what's mindless for you, even though your mind is loud, because that's just the way nature works. And so you want to make sure that you just let your mind do its thing and that you are going to be the driving force for that, and you have already designated your fasting window and your feasting window, and you're not going to let those 2 cross. So you predetermine when you're going to fast and you predetermine when you're going to feast. The other way that that intermittent fasting can really benefit us when we're in a crisis type of situation is it does help us create that mind mapping that we do good things for ourselves during times that might not actually be feeling very great. So if you're feeling stressed out or you're feeling like things are out of control, if you do good things for yourself, it will create those mind maps in your brain that that's just what you do when you are stressed out. So many women especially talk about themselves as stress eaters. And that is just because that's the mind mapping that you have in your head, because that's what you've always done. But you can change that mind map and you can create new statements. If you follow me on Instagram, you know for the month of April, I am giving you an I am statement trigger every day that you can practice in your own daily life to keep that mindset and those mind maps really positive during this time. And saying to yourself, I am a stress something else besides eater can really help you create that mind mapping in your brain that when stress happens, you do something else besides eat. So you can be a stress walker, you can be a stress journaler, you can be a stress eater, you can be a stress, I'm going to call my girlfriend type of person. You do not have to default to I am a stress eater. And intermittent fasting does allow you that opportunity to change those mind mappings, because like I said in tip number 1, if you have a pre-designated time in your day where you are in a fasted state, you won't default to that thought of I am a stress eater, because that's not what we do when we're fasting. We have already made the decision that we are going to be fasted. So it helps you create new mind mapping in your brain so that when a stressful situation comes about, you designate who you are and what you do during that time as something that's going to be productive to you and healthy for you, so that when stress happens, you choose healthy over something that's going to be super mindless like stress eating. And then the third tip, or the third thought that I wanted to share with you guys today, was that when we fast, like I said, during a stressful time, we are creating all these opportunities for healthiness to be produced in our body. We know in a fasted state that we have an opportunity to balance out our hunger hormones. We have an opportunity to balance out a lot of those sugar-related cravings that we have, a lot of that anxiety that comes from sugar-related type of eating episodes or maybe drinking episodes, and it helps us break bad habits. Again, this all goes back to mind mapping and mindset and what it is that we are going to pre-designate as how we go about our day, as opposed to letting emotion or fear or restlessness or even nervousness be the thing that leads us in our decision making. So it is a great time to do something different. If you've always been one of those people that defaults to healthy or unhealthy choices when things feel out of control or when they feel stressed out, this opportunity to start implementing intermittent fasting during a stressful or a time that feels like your life might be in a little bit of a crisis will really help you break those habits, and you will start to default to new types of activities. So it is a really great time to just break that habit and let go of that identity of you doing negative or unhealthy or hurtful things to yourself when you feel like things are out of control. Intermittent fasting can help us on so many different levels, and I'm purposely not going to come to these platforms during this time and try to give health advice. I think that there's a lot of conflicting information out there, and there's so many different parameters around what we can be doing right now to keep ourselves healthy. And I personally think the best thing we can do right now is just keep ourselves at home, and that we should always live a life that is based around healthy choices for our tomorrows. And I do believe that if we're consciously making those types of lifestyle changes and those lifestyle choices, then we will always have the most advantageous and the best opportunities to fight off something that might come at us that we were least expecting. So we should be living this type of lifestyle always, but right now, if you feel like you are just out of control and you don't know what to do and you don't know how to get yourself back into a healthy mindset, intermittent fasting can really be that thing that you can lean into right now. Forget about weight loss, forget about all those other things, and just think about how you can train your mindset to work on your behalf, as opposed to just going into those mindless old habit type of behaviors that we have when we feel stressed out or we feel unsure about some things. I know in our family, we are leaning into our lifestyle here a lot. Let's talk about other things too. The fact that you have to go outside and expose yourself by not having to go grocery shopping as much is definitely one of those things where you can use intermittent fasting right now as well. You can make sure that you keep your grocery bill, down to a manageable amount, because you're not mindlessly eating a lot of that empty, time-sucking type of food situations that we tend to get ourselves in when we're stressed out as well. So lots of different avenues in which intermittent fasting can really help us during this time, not being so stressed out about food and really sinking into the magic that can happen for us when we know that a hungry state is not a negative place to be, and that we can really find some great mental clarity, we can find some great mindset training, and we can really live in that energized sense of calm and benefit from the magic of just putting yourself into a purposeful fasting window for a certain period of part of your day, and how that can really help you get through a time of crisis. So I hope this offers some solace, I guess, for you, and some comfort for you in a time where things really do feel out of control. You do not have to go to old ways or old habits, or even if you have been intermittent fasting, don't think that this is a time that you have to jump out of that because you feel out of control. Remember how you felt when you were intermittent fasting with time and consistency. You feel empowered, you feel energized, you feel healthy, and you feel clear minded. And I think those are all those things that we really should be leaning into during this time where our brain can really be cluttered with a lot of noise, and we really need to make sure that we are keeping things clear, positive, and on a healthy track for us, because tomorrow is going to come, and we want to make sure that we are not only physically ready, but we're mentally and emotionally ready for that time as well. So I hope this helps you feel empowered about jumping into intermittent fasting, or jumping back into intermittent fasting, or just feeling confident that you have created a lifestyle for yourself that is going to stand the test of time, and that you're in the right place, exercising the right way to live your life. So I'm going to open up on the floor for questions and comments from our community. I've missed you guys not having a live on Friday. It's such a long period of time where I don't get to hang out with my girls and our amazing community here. So I'm super excited to engage in some conversation with you guys in the comments. So if you haven't left a comment yet, now would be a great time to do so. And for those of you who are in my April intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman course, lean into this time, go all in. I talked to you guys about that on our Saturday live. You want to make sure that you are using this investment that you just made in you as an opportunity to go all in and really soak up all the benefits that this lifestyle can provide for you. It's going to be a great thing for you right now going through all this craziness, and it's going to prove to be a great thing for you beyond this through other seasons of your life as well. So I'm super excited for all of you guys who jumped in with us. And then my midlife mindset shift course, women, you already know the drill. We're going to start doing some mindset shift work in there this week as well. So you guys are all in great places. Danny, I'm glad to know your family is safe and healthy. Yes, we are doing fine. Everyone's home. Everyone's healthy. Michael's birthday is Wednesday, right?
Hello.
So Michael's birthday is Wednesday, so I'll have Michael do a live with us on Wednesday, so y'all can visit him and give him some happy birthday wishes on Wednesday. Queen Di from Missouri in your April course. I know you are, girlfriend, because every time I see your name, my face lights up, because I'm a Lady Di and you're a Queen Di, and I love that you call yourself that. Kathleen, March 2020 class. Danny, fasting grad from October 2018. I know you are doing well, girlfriend. Donna, I'm a graduate from April of 2018. So easy to be stressed right now. Your videos helps get us through. Yeah, for sure. Always lean into what you know works best for you. So for all my graduates, you now have a new way of dealing with things. So go back to your course if you need some refreshers. All it takes is one good 20-hour clean fast, and your body, your muscle memory will go right back into it. You'll get into that energized sense of calm, and you'll be able to really thrive there. So never be afraid to get that one 20-hour clean fast scheduled, and it will change everything for you for sure. Amy, I am in the current IF course. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. Girlfriend, you are welcome, and thank you for trusting me with you. I appreciate you being in class with us. Let's see, Diane, I have to take my meds 2 times a day this week, and I have had to break my fast. Can I start back after my med cycle? Yeah, you can for sure. And remember, you know, medicine, breaking a fast is just one of those little, you know, nuisances that we have to get through. So don't necessarily walk away from fasting because you have to take medicine. If you have to take medicine with food, I would say just make a wise food choice when you're taking your medicine, and don't let that little bump in your break fast keep you from fasting. You don't want to go into feasting all day just because you have to take medicine. So find a way to tweak your schedule and manage what it is you have to do with your medicine for sure. And then just get back to what you were doing before when you get done with your cycle of meds. Melissa, I'm new to the whole community, a little trouble getting on, but finally figured it out, excited about the course. Awesome, girlfriend Melissa, it's so good to have you with us and excited you're in the course. Jessica, August 2019 grad, and truthfully, I've been struggling the last week or so. My anxiety is super high, and I know my eating is part of that. Getting myself back into the fasting mindset because I know it will help. Yeah, for sure. So if eating is causing your anxiety, don't do that to yourself. There's already enough anxiety going on that you don't want to add to that by eating, especially if the food is not making you feel good. And we know a lot of those empty calorie, high sugar foods physically, mentally, and emotionally don't make us feel our best. So you want to try to avoid those as much as possible. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to fast, super long hours every day to feel great. We know if we already have reversed some of those sugar-related diseases and we're not, so addicted to sugar the way we used to, then we know we can give ourselves a little bit of leniency as well. So I know here in our house, my college-age son is home, my 13-year-old super hungry daughter is here, and we love food. So we have been eating very well with our family here, but it doesn't mean we're not fasting, and it doesn't mean that we're not making good food choices for ourselves either. So good food choices, fast the best that you can so that you can look and feel your best. Don't lean into food that's going to take away that opportunity for you to look and feel your best, because we have to make sure that we're on our toes right now for sure. So yeah, jump back in for sure. And then Caria, I think it is, currently in IF class, excited about the class. Awesome, girlfriend. And make sure you're checking in with your lessons every day. Ellen, August 2019, struggling a bit, but I just re-logged into the classes so I can find my why again. Yeah, go back to day 1, week 1 for sure, and do that first week of lessons, and then probably go back to week 3, which is the social and emotional aspect for sure. Sometimes you have to just, like you said, redefine your why and get your head back in the game. And then Brenda, 2019 grad from August. Holly, thanks for everything you do. Diane, from the villages in Florida, I'm guessing your advice is the same for someone grieving. Yeah, for sure. Anytime we go through an emotional bout, if we lean into food to get ourselves through that, we're basically numbing and drugging ourselves. So you want to make sure that you're putting good nutrition in your body, because we need that, especially during stressful times, because it's exhausting. It takes a lot of energy to go through a grieving process. But sugar and junk food and eating all day to just not feel something, or to almost drug yourself up in a sense, is not going to be healthy for you, because you're going to get through the grieving process, and then you don't want to have to deal with a whole nother set of things that you have to manage once you get out of that grieving process. So just because you're grieving doesn't mean that you have to abuse yourself through the process. Really think about how you can be really healthy with your mind and your body as well while you're going through that tough time, and I'm sorry that you're having to go through that. Carla, it is about mind mapping. I found myself going for chips for no reason. Currently in course, going to Community for Strength these first few days. Yeah, go to Community for Strength all 3 weeks. That's what it's there for. And stopping yourself in your tracks, and this is why point number 1 that I shared at the beginning of this is so important for us, is when you predetermine your fasting window. So I start fasting at this time and I end my fast at this time, and you have that time, you consciously stop yourself from just going after some food because you're bored, or you walk through the kitchen, or it's noon, or whatever it is, right? And so make sure you're consciously setting up that window and writing it down and predetermining when you want to break your fast, so that you will catch yourself in your tracks. And so there's nothing wrong with catching yourself. That's called being mindful. That's what we want to do. And you're going to notice how many times you unconsciously reach for food just because you walk through the kitchen, or just because you are bored. And so that's a good thing. Make note of that, and then make note of how you corrected yourself as well, because all of those things will come into play for you down the road for sure. And then let's see, Michelle, I love your videos and knowledge. Thank you. You're welcome, Michelle. Thank you. Or Melanie, thanks for jumping on with us. Carla, I already did that one. Amy, do you recommend a longer fast with a broken bone? I have been doing 18 hours. Is that good, or should I do longer? I don't know if a longer fast will help me heal sooner. I say really good nutrition, lots of water, lots of rest, and fasting can't hurt you. So, I mean, I don't know medically if fasting longer is going to heal a bone faster, but we do know that fasting does allow your body an opportunity to heal itself, because it's not using time and energy on breaking down and processing food. So I would say there's probably nothing wrong with extending out to a 20-hour fast for a lot of reasons. And then just make sure that the nutrition that you're putting into your body is also going to support why you're fasting that way, and how to get your broken bone to heal quicker as well. And then lots of water and lots of rest for sure. Let's see, Francie, December 2017 grad. I love it. Thank you, and Michael, for being there for all of us. You're welcome, Francie, and thank you for sticking around with us for all these years. I appreciate you. And then Rosalind, November 2018 grad. Yep, reset myself again. Yeah, it's a constant reset, right? That's where mindset and mind mapping is really going to work on our behalf. You have to always go back to day one. You have to always go back to starting over. You have to always go back to restarting. It's okay to pick back up and go back to a clean fast. There's no failing here. There's no nothing negative about getting off track unless you create that negativity yourself. So don't create the negativity. Make a decision. If you're not looking and feeling your best, and you feel like you're not doing the best for you right now, make a decision that ends the moment you make that realization, and put yourself right back on the right track. So we don't have time to spend self-sabotaging with negative self-talk or bad behavior or doing negative things for ourselves. If you can have the thought process in your brain that what you're doing is not working for you, the next thing you do is make a decision to end it, and make the next decision to get yourself back on track. It's as quick and simple as that. No lag time sitting around trying to convince yourself of all the things that you did bad and how horrible you are. We don't have that time. It's a decision-making process. Make the decision and then move on for sure. And then Laruna, are there times for this? Are there times for what? Not sure what you're asking.
Later times.
Are there later times? No, we just do 3 p.m. Mondays and Wednesdays. And then Vicky, March 2020 IF course, just joined the midlife mindset class. Joined this call very late, so hope I can go back and hear the first part, the punchline. Yeah, for sure. It's all recorded. And then Samantha, recent IF grad. I've been having night sweats every night for the last week. Check in with what you're doing in your feasting window. Night sweats could just simply be that you're not getting enough magnesium, or you're getting too much sugar. So it's usually not enough magnesium or too much sugar in that feast, especially the latter part of your feast when you're about to close it. Teresa, my mask making woman here in Flower Mound, she's joining us today. Teresa's part of our community, and she's sewing masks for people. So she's a sweet little angel. Thank you so much for doing that. And then Jody, I'm going to be an April 2020 graduate. I'm loving all of this from Wisconsin. Yes, you are going to be a 2020 graduate. In order to really say that you're a graduate, you have to make sure you get to day 21. So we're going to keep you on track and make sure that you can officially say you're a graduate at the end of this month for sure. And then Lisa, 2017 graduate. Love when you guys come back around. I've missed you all. My cousin Amy is here. She's killing it as well. And then Karen from Canada, good to have you with us. And then April, thank you for the encouragement, especially during this time. We must focus on the things we can control in the mindset class starting today. Yeah, for sure. We're going to work on a lot of that in our mindset shift course for sure. And like I said, make sure you guys are following me on Instagram. And I think it's posting to Facebook too. Every day I'm giving you an I am positive statement that you can work into your day and really start practicing keeping those positive I am statements and belief statements in your own head. So when something comes at you that you least expect, you practice positivity and you practice doing good for yourself. It just is a matter of changing your mindset for sure. And so we have to make sure that we are proactive about that and we're very deliberate about that. So when something happens, it's now just what we do. If we can use stress eating and binge eating and walking through the cupboard and mindlessly eating throughout the day as something that we just do, then we have the power to change what we just do, and we can do something else. It's just a learning process and in creating that mindset for ourselves for sure. So I am super excited that you guys are all starting in courses this month with us. We have a super busy schedule. I love all of you for jumping on live with us. I know not everyone can join a course, which is why we come live Monday and Wednesday, and always invite all of our course members as well. It's a good time for us to come together as a community, have a nice little discussion, and connect with one another, especially during these times of social distancing. So as an extrovert and someone who loves people, I do appreciate you guys coming on with us live and sharing with us in the community here. Shannon, you are right. I have been eating too much sugar, and so night sweats came back. Removing sugar in past eliminated my night sweats. I'm getting rid of the sugar again. Yeah, for sure. It's a quick fix, and it creeps in so innocently. So please, Shannon, don't spend any time beating yourself up. It innocently happens to all of us, myself included. So just go back and reevaluate what it is that you want to have in your life. And if night sweats aren't serving you, then make the night sweats less important and the things that you're eating less important to you, and make a good night's sleep more important for you. It's really that simple. And then after a couple of really good nights of non-night sweat sleeps, you will be appreciative of just making just a simple little tweak, and then getting that good sleep in is really important for us. Okay, anything else, Michael?
I think that's
all right. So I gave you guys some three tips. Become mindful. That's a way to use intermittent fasting. Create a specific fasting window so that you do not walk around the house mindlessly doing things that you're going to regret in a couple of months. So become mindful by establishing a predetermined fasting and feasting window. Create a mindset that you do good for yourself during stressful or crisis type of situations, so that when those things happen again in your life, and guess what? They're going to happen again in your life, you now have a new set of things that you do when you feel stressful. So it's all just practicing new habits, and then that will tell your body that during stressful times you do good by you, right? And so when stressful time comes, you will be able to handle it mentally, physically, and emotionally so much better, which then translates to what happens to your body chemically and hormonally as well. So we are just creating a really good relationship with our body by managing stress in a different way than we used to. I appreciate you guys. I hope you are all staying healthy, and that you're staying happy, and you're fasting long and feasting well, and using this time that we have to really do some training in your home, even get out and do some exercising and do some things that will serve you well when this ends, because I promise you it will end, and we want to make sure that we come out of it ahead of the game. If there's anything that you need from us here in this community, always feel free to reach out. You know that we are here for you. We have a great community of people that we can always tap into. If you have a special need, we can always reach out and do that for you as well. Even if it's just positive thoughts and prayers going your way, never be afraid to ask for that. We are here for you. And then Michael and I will come on live on Wednesday, and you guys can all sing happy birthday to him virtually through the internet, and we can wish Michael a happy birthday. So have a great rest of your afternoon, and I will see you guys on Wednesday.